Yes, everybody, good morning. Welcome back to Forever United TV. All of your Manchester United updates in and around the football club, on and off the pitch. We've got big injury updates this morning as well. Some more transfer news. Yes, the window was shut, but transfer news is still a hot topic. We have been going into detail over the last few days on the goalkeeping situation at Manchester United. I wanted to move away from that. I've been dragged back into that this morning because there is an update on ONANA and what potentially might happen here. An aftermath after the fallout from this transfer window and bringing Mr Adam Stott into Manchester United. What's happening with ONANA and a big link to the Saudi Pro League this morning. Let's see what happens with that, but I'm going to bring you details on it. We'll discuss it, get into the live chat, talk to me, everybody. Mount, Cunha and Leacher injury updates. Also, big news for Ruben Amorim. Massive positive news for Amorim going forward into this season. It looks like, dare I say it, touch every single piece of wood around me possible, Manchester United could be injury-free going into September. I will tell you more in this show. Good morning, everyone. Hope you are doing well. Please tell me that you are safe and sound on that school run this morning. I feel for you. I really do. I hate this time of year when it comes to getting back to school with everybody. The traffic is hell. But turn up the volume, sit back, try and chill. I'll bring you up to date with all the Manchester United news before you get started with your busy days. Let's get into it. And again, like I said, didn't want to carry on going on about the goalkeeping situation. It seems like every single video that I've done recently has been about the goalkeepers. I've got my say on it, I've got my concerns and my fears on it. You all know what they are. And that is with what goalkeeper's going to play when we come back from international break. And we're obviously thinking that maybe one or two of the goalkeepers, that being Baindy or ONANA, will lead the football club if United have brought another goalkeeper in. That was the topic last night. We're going to be talking this morning about ONANA because there's a story that's come out today, this morning, just now, of ONANA potentially leaving Manchester United before the Saudi Pro League, the transfer window, closes. I didn't know this. I thought it was a bit earlier. I think the Turkish League closes on the 12th of September. But the Saudi Pro League window is open till the 23rd of September. So even when Man United come back from international break, this window is still open. So that Manchester derby, whether it's Lamens, whether it's Baindy, whether it's ONANA who starts in goal, is going to be key to knowing exactly what is going on here. Is Ruben Amorim talking in action again? Not really saying much, or he's not really dismissing any player like he has done all summer. He's done the same with ONANA, still a big part of his plans, blah-de-blah, like we've already spoken about. But Ruben Amorim does usually talk in action and he's talking with his feet as such by selecting certain players, not selecting certain players, surprising everybody with team selections. If he's not happy, he just won't play. ONANA has missed the last 4 Premier League games now for Manchester United in favour of Altay Baindy for Ruben Amorim, and now we're hearing stories this morning, and this has come from Sports Pete, who was saying that Manchester United are looking to move ONANA on, yes, but there could be a chance that Manchester United actually sell ONANA. The word is Manchester United could sell ONANA to the Saudi Pro League in order to reshuffle their goalkeeping department. The Saudi Pro League transfer window is open until September 23rd. So that is going to be the story going around this morning. One single headline, just everybody talking about that and what's actually happening there. We know the Saudi Pro League transfer window is still open. We know there has been interest, or tiny little bits of interest, in ONANA throughout the transfer window. Nothing serious, and like the Athletic said yesterday, that Monaco was the only team that came in for ONANA throughout the summer transfer window. So now looking ahead at Manchester United obviously bringing in Mr Adam Stott. This was the biggest one, and this debate will go on because none of us really know what's going on behind the scenes. None of us know that what Ruben Amorim's thinking right now, but 4 goalkeepers seems a lot, and you would think one goalkeeper would be moved out, particularly when the 2 supposedly being behind Mr Adam Stott is going full-on international players and big tournaments coming up. In particular, ONANA, he cannot afford to be out of AFCON. He cannot afford to be out of the World Cup reckoning. He needs to be playing football. So if Ruben does actually go into the City game and not play ONANA, and that can be for Baindy or Mr Adam Stott at the moment. I know I want Lamens in, I made the big point about it last night, but let's just say in the case of Andre Onana, his future at Manchester United, what's going to happen, where he's going to go, what could potentially be in the offing in this window that's left open in Saudi. Well, if he doesn't start against City, that then is, for me, the final nail in the coffin for Andre Onana. He is then literally third choice goalkeeper at Manchester United. He has got 2 big international tournaments coming up. He is now going to be forced, I feel, to make a move away from Manchester United. Now, this is more interesting because of what was said from Laurie Whitwell in The Athletic. I covered this all yesterday, but just to go over it again so you're up to date, and now we're getting these reports coming out about a Saudi link again for Andre Onana. Onana turns up to pre-season this season, not fit, pulls a hamstring, definitely doesn't go down well with Ruben Amorim, was the report about how he was given this specific programme throughout the summer to come back like every other player. And we have got a really good injury record right now, coming through pre-season with 0 injuries to anyone extra apart from what we already knew about. Players that we didn't expect to be fit, being fit. So everybody seems to be following the plan. And for Onana to pull an hamstring so soon into pre-season, this did not go down well with Ruben Amorim. On top of that, obviously we had the debacle of Ruben and his agent strolling into Carrington last season, in the middle of the season, demanding a new contract because he wasn't happy about the amount of money he was on being deducted from being out the Champions League. He then went back in and reiterated that fact and went for a new contract again in pre-season, according to Laurie Whitwell of The Athletic, and that did not go down well either. And then when dropped for the Fulham game, he was told he's still part of Ruben Amorim's plans and he doesn't need to go out and find another football club. No one was thinking that Manchester United were going to go out at that point after Fulham and buy another goalkeeper. It seemed to be off the cards until a meeting was held by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, his usual monthly meeting, where decisions were made, and from top to bottom, from Sir Jim Ratcliffe all the way down through his staff and his board and directors to Ruben Amorim and his coaching staff, full agreement that United would go out and spend money on a goalkeeper. That's when Fabrizio Romano broke us the news that United will definitely sign a goalkeeper. That's when Laurie Whitwell came back out and said something's happened at Manchester United and there's been a change of tactic within the transfer window. They're now looking for a goalkeeper no matter what happens with Bayende and Onana. I just don't see Manchester United in this new structure, this 90 plan, whatever it is. I've not looked too much into it yet. The new financial plan for Manchester United to pull in another extra 90 million in revenues or make it up in how much Manchester United are actually spending. I just don't see Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Manchester United, with this whole new financial plan, the way that they've streamlined the squad, Ruben Amorim coming out and saying he wants a smaller squad to work with just the Premier League, wanting 4 goalkeepers, whether you think that they're needed or not and what jobs they do in this team, whether it is practice goalkeepers, I think like Daniel was saying from the chat last night with Tom Heaton, Bayende, obviously experienced backup, ONANA as well, and now obviously Senna Lamans as well. Whether you think they've got a job to do or not, Manchester United, I cannot see wanting to have 4 wages on the books for goalkeepers where we know definitely 2 of them are not going to feature whatsoever in this season for Manchester United. I just don't see a world in that. Andre Onana is the big fish. He's the big earner. He's the one that's earning around about 100 to 140 grand a week in wages. That's a lot of money to be sat doing nothing. And you know that is going to be burning away at Ineos. Moves now will be made for Manchester United to try and force Andre Onana out. I say force. It's probably not the right word right now, but try and move him out. I think there's a lot of people within Manchester United that actually want him gone and will try and make it clear that he is not going to play for Manchester United again. One of them, I think, is Ruben Amorim. I fully feel that there has been a fallout between the manager and the player. Not like to blows or like anything serious, but I feel like within, certain things were said this summer and certain things have not happened after what was said this summer, like promises about being part of the plan for Manchester United going forward. Manchester United only looking for another goalkeeper if Andre Onana is sold. None of that has happened, and none of that has come to fruition because, like we said, Onana's not playing, not featuring in the Premier League at all. And obviously Manchester United now have gone out and bought Senna Lamans. So that, I think, is the situation as it is. And this is where we're now starting to get stories with time and no stress and drama, games to prepare for, transfers to deal with, issues to sort out with the bomb squad, things like this. Manchester United can concentrate now on trying to get something in line sorted and done for Andre Onana, and I think this is why these stories are now starting to circulate. Whether they're true or not, it doesn't really matter. The facts are Manchester United trying to streamline the squad, trying to cut the wage bill, are not going to want 4 goalkeepers. Something will give, and I think now, with these stories circulating, the Saudi Pro League transfer window still being open, will Manchester United play Andre Onana like, for instance, I said the other night, Kevin Hatchard talking about this, play him to try and sell him, make him look valuable to somebody in the Saudi or Turkish leagues, and maybe move him on at a price that they want. What can they sell him for? Are they going to loan him? Is a loan option for Manchester United good? Probably is, because we're not having to pay his whole wage. And if, say for instance, 80% of Andre Onana's wage is covered on the books by another football club, that pretty much covers the likes of Sen Lammens, Altay Bayndé and Tom Heaton all in one go. So maybe that's what they're thinking right now with Manchester United. It's because he's on so much money, it is, I think, a situation and an issue for Ineos and Manchester United. And because Ruben's not using him, that will definitely start to irk and push Ineos into asking the question, like, we need to move him on. If he's not playing, out of the club you go. That is the full update on Andre Onana. I'm going to take your comments on this now. So everybody, please do get into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on this. Give me your thinking, what you actually feel will happen with Andre Onana going into this latter stages of the other transfer windows. Nobody in Europe wants him. Not surprised one bit. But he could still go to the Saudi Pro League. Even if it's a loan, would you be okay with that? That's the question I'm asking right now to the comment section. Kevin, with the first super chat of the day, says, "Morning, Adam. I love your show. You're doing a great job." Thank you, buddy. Love that, Kevin, mate. Robbie back in again with another super chat. Says, "If Onana stays, he will cost Amorim his job. It's that simple," says Robbie. Well, if he doesn't play him, he might not. But again, can you afford to have a player that experienced at that age, wanting to play football on that much money, hanging around your football club? That's the point I'm trying to make today. Nicholas with a super chat. Thank you, Nicholas. He says, "Why would anybody sign Onana? He's not a goalkeeper, poor on the basics, cheating a living." Look, what was it that Andre Onana did before he came to Manchester United to make him look so good? Honestly, like I feel like sometimes talking about Andre Onana in a bad way, I'm manifesting him never moving from Manchester United, because like what the super chats are saying there, like, who is going to buy Andre Onana? Like, who in their right mind would want to spend money on this goalkeeper? There has to be someone out here that wants Andre Onana. I think Andre Onana will end up leaving Manchester United for hardly anything. I think next summer Manchester United will have, as far as I know, on his contract, 1 year left. So after this season, he's got 1 year left. I think he'll just keep on being loaned out and he'll end up leaving for nothing. That's what I honestly don't think anybody's going to buy it. If there's a Saudi Pro League team out there, I would say right now, look, just give us 10 million. Or just load him. I'm not really bothered. I just want him out of the building. I'm not expecting to make any money at all on Andre Onana. And I think Manchester United will be thinking somewhere along these lines, surely, looking at this, because they know what they've got here. It's a big mistake again. And I think if you're being real with yourself, 30 million, and that was the asking price for the summer, was completely quashed, completely slashed as soon as Andre Onana stepped foot on that football pitch again. I think Manchester United are regretting playing Andre Onana in that game against Grimsby in the Carabao Cup massively now. I think they're thinking, what did we do? He cost Manchester United a cup run, more revenues, and a massive embarrassment. He did. It was him. Absolutely pathetic. The rest of the team, pathetic. But Andre Onana cost us the goals by not doing the basics, like the comment said again there. And now Manchester United are playing just Premier League football all the way up to the new year. It's unheard of. It is ridiculous for Manchester United. When we come back from international break, you've usually got a few games, like six games. United have got 4 games. That's it. It's bad. It's really bad. And it's hard. It's hard to actually to balance things out. With a massive squad like that, United need to be playing in multiple competitions. They need to trim it, and I think this is what's going to happen. Mr. Dacia Sandero, hi Adam. Do we see the scenario where Onana goes, we get to January and Bayndé goes and Lammens is is performing okay but not completely ready? Would we go back in for Martinez, Lammens to take over? it's Martinez's wages that was the problem. So unless Manchester United did sell Andre Onana, I couldn't see Manchester United actually going back in for Martinez. I'm not ruling it out. I think it's far-fetched. I don't think United would sell a goalkeeper and then bring another one in at this point now. If Bayindir and Onana went, they could be maybe forced into going in for somebody else. Look, it's hard to say. Look, Emi Martinez, 33 now. Obviously, it was his birthday yesterday, I think, actually. I think the door's closed. Personally, I think it is. I don't think we'll go back into him. But look, anything is possible. No one expected the scenario where we finished the transfer window and what happened there. And I say that, never say never, but I think it's going to be it's going to be a push for Manchester United to go buy another goalkeeper in as well now in January. But we'll see. Adam says Shaw and Onana are the ones that they are looking to dump on Saudi. It never works, despite how often the club pays journos to fake Saudi links to our players. Adam there, not believing in one bit of it. Let's see what else we've got here. I think United did the right thing in not appealing the Grimsby match. You're right on that, Babs, 100%. That would have been the ultimate embarrassment for us. It's clear Altay is Amorim's second goalkeeper. This is why he is playing now. Lamens to come in. But then again, like, if Bayindir keeps playing and Bayindir starts to get better all of a sudden, I know. But if Bayindir starts to get better, then what happens there? Does he then start to earn the right to be in Manchester United's starting 11 week in, week out? And then he's got another little problem, Ruben, because we spent this money on Lamens and now he could be number 2 to Altay Bayindir. I think that's a great situation for United to be in because it means that the goalkeepers are both playing well, and I'm not really bothered about that. But I think I'm edging towards Bayindir being in and around Manchester United more than Andre Onana. But I also feel like Bayindir is the easier player to sell, like we were talking about last night. I think Manchester United know that Bayindir would be appealing to other football clubs more than what Andre Onana is at the moment. The wage, the transfer fee, it's less of a risk. If Manchester United are holding out for that money for Andre Onana, then they're never going to sell him. And like I said, I think it will be loan after loan after loan until we actually get to the end of his contract and he's going walkies. Simple as. Daniel says, if Vitek is the plan for next summer, then both goalkeepers are going by summer. Lamens is seen as competitive goalkeeper, possibly number 1. He'll be starting right away or soon enough. Onana isn't playing again. I hope that. Even Graham messaged me last night. Adam, you can call me out on it. Onana is never playing for Manchester United again. Look, I don't want Onana to play. And anybody saying this to me or messaging me with this, you're my best friend. I swear to God, you're my best friend right now. Because I never want to see that man ever wear a Manchester United shirt again. I don't even want to watch training footage of him. And that's something else as well now, because Manchester United don't have the extra training sessions, the open training sessions that you would get for the media to go into. Like, there is nothing now. Everything's behind closed doors. If there was a perfect time and opportunity for Manchester United to clear the decks, get things in order, it's now. No media access to Carrington for the whole season. No extra media days at all. It is just full on, apart from the press conferences, obviously. It is full on Manchester United, Ruben Amorim, cutting through this squad, fine-tuning everything and getting on with it and getting ready for the next transfer window, I feel. But while this window is still open for Saudi, I would be making Andre Onana as appealing as possible. I would be taking a hit to get the man out of Manchester United, because I think that is really sending a signal to everybody else. It's right. No, we've made the call. We've saved money on the goalkeeper by buying someone like Lamens for 18.2 million, nearly 20 million pounds. Still a decent amount of money. I've said that yesterday and won't go back on that. But 20 million there, they could have gone out and bought Donnarumma, for instance, big wages. But Lamens will save United a fortune on wages. He'll pretty much be paid for as well by the end of next summer. Sen Lamens. So he's not costing United anything. Andre Onana is still costing United in instalments. So that, I think, is something that we also need to look at. That maybe next summer United don't owe a lot on Andre Onana. Loan him for the rest of this season. Hopefully he does well somewhere else, playing in a lesser league where there's less pressure. And then he's bought the summer after. He's gone, like obligation or something like that. So maybe that's where it's actually at with Manchester United. So, yeah, I think that this is now the reality of the situation with Onana. Charles says, Bainday has fundamental flaws in his game, Adam. Even if he got better, he would still be he still would not be good enough. Better than Onana, though. Yeah. Charles, I'm with you, buddy. I am. I get it. Gary says, Onana has to be the ultimate. Be careful what you wish for. De Gea is a long, distant memory of having a half-tidy keeper. Yep. Thank you, Eric Ten Hag, on that one. And him not wanting to keep David De Gea for another year. Would have saved us a lot of aggro, and we wouldn't have bought Andre Onana and got ourselves in the situation that we're in right now. I've always said if Bainday played a run of games, we might see that he is a decent goalkeeper, and I do think he has shown that he is getting there. Amorim won't be playing Onana again. Another one saying no Onana again. Keep them comments coming in, everybody. I'm lapping it up this morning. Keep it at it, and obviously make sure that you do keep your comments coming in. We're going to move on to this now. Real Recognize something else right now. Real Recognize says Carl Anka did an interesting bit on Lammens, well worth a watch. Yeah, there's a lot of people with in-depth analysis, video, and history scouting reports on Sen Lammens. I think he's one of the most scouted goalkeepers out there right now in European football, and there is so many reports on this goalkeeper that you find it hard to find anybody that didn't come out with a more positive look on Sen Lammens than a negative. Like everybody is saying he is a top quality goalkeeper in the making. All of the attributes, all of the signs are a very, very similar Courtois type goalkeeper. I know it's Belgium. It's an obvious comparison to make. The baby Courtois is his nickname, things like this. But he's vocal. He's long-armed. He's a good shot stopper. He commands his box. He's great at penalties. He's great on his feet. He's got great distribution. He's got everything there. There are certain moments where you look at him and go, maybe he could have done better. But I'm pretty certain there have been moments with every single top goalkeeper on the planet that you would say that for as well. They all make mistakes. They're goalkeepers. They are a different breed. You have to be kind of tapped in the head a little bit to be a goalkeeper. They're all kind of weird characters, aren't they? They are. I always go back to Mean Machine and the Monk and that film with Vinnie Jones and Jason Statham's character in goal. It's just a, you're like, I always look at that and think, yeah, all goalkeepers are just like, they're a different kind of breed of player, aren't they? They really are. Oh, I need to move on anyway. Is Onana also George Weah's cousin? I have no idea, mate. I had no idea at all. And thanks for the super chat, mate. But no, I want to move on because there is good news as well coming out. And a massive boost for Ruben Amorim is that Matthias Cunha's injury, according to Sully Talks, is not as bad as first thought. He will be assessed over the coming days. A verdict will be given this week on how much time he's going to be out for, but it is definitely not a big one. Worst case scenario, I'm hearing at the moment, back end of September, October for Matthias Cunha. I don't think they're going to push him to be back for the Manchester City game. I don't think they'd even rush him, and I don't think Ruben would even risk it. So the word is that the hamstring injury is not bad. Like, we've seen Matthias Cunha walking out of Old Trafford fine the other day. If you're walking out like that, then the hamstring injury is not severe. I reckon the worst case scenario, we see Matthias Cunha in October. That's what I think anyway, from that and that report. Very similar, and he used a comparison the other day to the Bukayo Saka hamstring injury. You know if a player is going to be out for a while. You'll get the word straight away, a hamstring tear, operation needed, and you're looking at 2 to 3 months for a player to be out. And that would be a nightmare scenario. But a little twinge is what's being said. Matthias Cunha felt a twinge. Obviously, precautionary bringing him off. Not as bad as first thought and won't need an operation. Definitely not. So that is massive good news. Massively positive news for Ruben Amorim and Manchester United. We needed something like that, I think. On top of the positives of signing a goalkeeper at the end of the window. The way we finished the first round of games with the win against Burnley. A bit of a positive end to August for Manchester United, and then going into September in a very, very busy period for the football club. Let's not forget, our games in September are City, then Chelsea, then Brentford away, and Sunderland just hitting the start of October. But that's the next 4 games before the October international break. So that's what we're looking at. And that, for Manchester United, bit mixed bag. I'm fancying us against Brentford and Sunderland. If we can get out of them games there, I say if Manchester United come away with 8 points out of them 4 games, I'm quite happy with that. Draws against City, Chelsea maybe, and then beats Brentford and Sunderland. That's what United should be aiming for, I feel, in them games. Look, there's no sort of disgracing drawing against the likes of City and Chelsea, who are both chasing the title. World champions, City obviously expected to do more as well this season. Like, if we can get draws out of them games and then get something out of Sunderland and Brentford, win them games, I think Manchester United comfortably right up there in the top 6 off them results there. So again, that's good for me. Going into next international break, that should be United's target. But no need to rush players back is what we're saying here as well. No need to rush players back. This could be the chance for Benjamin Sesko now with Matheus Cunha not too far away. We bring in Benjamin Sesko after having a full international break. I think that's important as well, that he's going to get game well away for Slovenia, which is going to do him good. Obviously, he's been stop-start with Manchester United so far, and then we move into internationals where he's going to play 2 90 minutes, I'm guessing anyway, but let's just see. 12 points, says Grandpa 70. Yeah, let's go for the 12, sod it. Let's get top of the league while we're at it as well. That would be a turn-up for the Bucks. I think United can win all 4 of them games, by the way. I'm not saying we can't, but I'm saying reality tells us, and being a realist, that we need to be just unbeaten in this. We have to beat Brentford and Sunderland. That would be a great way to finish the international break and then take more pressure off Ruben Amorim. Just be solid and be competitive in them 2 games against City and Chelsea. That's what I'm saying. But I think this is now Benjamin Sesko's time. We know that Matheus Cunha is coming back. Ruben Amorim will have a bit more of a chance to see other players. Maybe with Bruno playing in at the 10, with no Cunha in for the time being, gives him the opportunity. Like, he's not going to rush Mason Mount back either. So effectively, we're going to see Sesko, we're going to see Mainu. Questions and players that all Manchester United fans needed answers on and wanted to see more of. What does Kobbie Mainu do for Manchester United from here? Can he fit back into Manchester United's side again with everything that's happening? All of this now is going to be there for us to see, hopefully. I don't think Ruben is the type of manager to rush players back from injury. We've seen this with him already. So Cunha being out for the next couple of games against City and Chelsea, no problem with that for me. We've got enough cover there. Bruno is definitely capable of playing in that 10 with Mbeumo, with Sesko in front of him. Casemiro and Mainu, 1 game a week, like I said. Casemiro can handle that. I think it's a question of Ugarte or Mainu now. And if Mainu doesn't play, then you know what's going to happen. It's going to be that pressure again on Ruben Amorim. Why is Mainu not playing? He has to be winning them games. If he is going to tweak anything in that team and not play Kobbie Mainu, then he has to be winning these games now. So I'm hoping that Burnley game has just calmed the waters, settled everything down a little bit, and we can go in. If we can get 2 wins, 2 draws out of them 4 games. By the way, everybody, give me your points total from them 4 games after international break. City, Chelsea, Brentford, Sunderland. How many points do you think Manchester United will get from them games? I think looking at it realistically, like I said, your target there is 8 points. I think that's being real, and that would be excellent work for Manchester United. Just really annoyed that we don't have any cup games in between either to try out other players. But when we're talking about Cunha here, the fact that we haven't got a lot of games gives Manchester United more chance to rest these players up and give them ample opportunity to recover. It's like 1 game we might miss for Matheus Cunha, but then we don't play for another week. So that's a beauty. That's a bonus as well. More chance to come back. Everyone going in with their points. Mr. Commenter says 3 points there. 7, 5, 2, says Simon. 12, says Biggle. 7, says Daniel. 7 and 8, I think we need to be looking at, I think, is where we're at right now. Well, that's what I think anyway, United should be looking at. But also, when we're talking about Matheus Cunha as well, let's not forget we have got that other injury, which is obviously Mason Mount. No real update on that. Ruben, talking after the game against Burnley, said that Mason Mount is just precautionary and he's only going to be brought in if he is fully ready. But with him saying precautionary, we haven't heard anything untoward. We haven't heard anything that's from Manchester United or sources from the club saying that Mason Mount has gone back or has got a recurring injury which has kept him out for a while, blah, blah, blah. Them worrying words that you would hopefully not hear for Mason Mount in particular, because I'll stand by this. I think he has been our best player consistently so far this season in all games, followed closely by Bryan Mbeumo now. But I do think that Manchester United have got the squad in the 10 area to not panic and rush these players back. And I think that's what we're going to see. I don't think Mason Mount or Matheus Cunha will play against Manchester City. Mount, maybe, but not Cunha. I don't think Ruben's going to rush him back. But the good news is, just to summarise, Matheus Cunha's injury is not bad, and Manchester United feel confident he will be back in a few weeks' time, which is fantastic news for us anyway. On top of ONANA leaving for Saudi, Cunha being back quite soon, I'm happy with that. I'll go with that all day long. Thank you very much. But yeah, also, actually, tell you what, let's get some more comments in on this, because a lot of people are talking about what they're expecting from these next few games. It does worry me if we get a long-term injury in the central midfield, we will be in trouble. Points-wise, out of those 4 games, 7 points for me. So what's that? 2 wins, a loss and a draw, I think it is what it is. Yep, a lot of people going down the same road with this one as well. Oh, by the way, I didn't pick up on this last night. Also, Manchester United did fend off competition for Sen Lamens from Aston Villa, as we know. But Royal Antwerp had an agreement with Aston Villa for a higher fee than what Manchester United agreed. Why is this the case, and why did we end up getting Lamens then? Similar situation as it was with Bryan Mbeumo, with Benjamin Sesko. He wanted to go to United. So again, there was an agreement in place for Sen Lamens with Aston Villa. They agreed a fee, and it was more than Manchester United's. And Manchester United still got the keeper because Sen Lamens made sure he got the move that he wanted. He was very, very clear. His preferred choice was Manchester United, and that's why that plane set off on deadline day. United apparently knew that Sen Lamens wanted the Manchester United move. They were always confident about getting him because he had told them that he wanted Manchester United. He told them that he was that they were his first choice, and that's why we got him. And United were confident in going till deadline day and waiting it out, because Antwerp would be forced into selling him either way. He'd been dropped out of the side, was training away from the rest of the squad at Antwerp. They knew he was being sold, and United knew that they knew he was being sold, so they just waited it out to deadline day, and then Antwerp buckled, and Sen Lamens got his move away from Antwerp to Manchester United. So that's how it went down. So again, a player that fully wanted Manchester United, but it just goes to show they had Emi Martinez in reserve waiting, already agreed. So when we go back to the ONANA and Baynder situation, and this is me convincing myself as well and manifesting ONANA leaving Manchester United, never playing for him again, it is like, if you're going for a definite number one and putting all this effort in to have 2 goalkeepers on the line, fully agreed to come to Manchester United, there has to be a plan to move the other goalkeepers out, which is why the story for the Saudi Pro League and Andre Onana this morning is quite relevant and could actually have something behind it. Which Saudi Pro League team, I have no idea. Whether he's going to go or not, I have no idea. But we have got over 3 weeks near enough, or just about 3 weeks left of the Saudi Pro League transfer window. And if Onana does not play against Manchester City, his people are going to be scrambling around like crazy men trying to find him a move away from Manchester United, because he's got AFCON and the World Cup coming up, and he will not be selected. Look, I'm guessing at that there anyway, but still, as a player, he might be favourite and doesn't have to do anything and still be the goalkeeper for Cameroon. But look, if you're in any international outfit, you're looking at a goalkeeper there that isn't playing, and you're looking elsewhere, aren't you? You're thinking, I need a goalkeeper that's actually got match fitness and is actually getting game time here, because I don't see Onana playing at all. Like, if he puts him back in, then we're done with Ruben Amorim, completely done. But if he's not playing at all, I think United are trying to force him out. And now Andre Onana is going to take it upon himself to put in that transfer request and try and get out of Manchester United. I think this is the plan that Manchester United have in their heads anyway with this one. So reality tells you if you're not playing, find a move away from the football club. Just a quick one as well for all the negative people out there. I have touched on this before I forget with it as well. Manchester United, in terms of league stats this season as well. Yeah, I was staggered when I seen this, but Manchester United have created a lot of opportunities this season, and the stats back it up as well. Total shots, Manchester United first in the Premier League so far this season. Expected goals, Manchester United first out of the Premier League. Shots on target this season, Man United fourth. This is a completely different scenario to last season, by the way. Touches in opposition box, Manchester United first out of every Premier League team so far this season. Accurate crosses per game. And we've all got an issue with crosses, haven't we? We said it last season. Corners, just general crosses, never beating the first man. Manchester United first in the Premier League this season. Accurate long balls per game this season. Manchester United first. What the hell is that all about? Out of all of them stats, Manchester United are not top in one, and they're fourth in that one, which is shots on target. Over 5 shots on target per game, Manchester United. By the way, Manchester United's XG, 6.8. That's United's XG over all games so far this season. Let that sink in a minute and then go, how? What? Really? Those are the words that came into my mind. I was like looking at it, I'm scratching my head going. And when you think back, you go, how many shots did we have against Arsenal? 22. Against Burnley, 26. Was it like that? We was up there in the teens against Fulham as well. And this is Premier League. So Manchester United are creating. We just need someone to start scoring goals. And we're away. Because last season we weren't creating nothing. Touches in opposition box, that's crazy. That means we are getting more men forward. That means we are being a little bit more direct. That means that there is some form of Ruben Amorim's tactics creeping in here. Because it's something similar that Sporting dominated in Portugal under him. It's just a case of scoring the goals that United should score. And this is where I think, like I said at the start, when we're talking about Matheus Cunha being out, maybe this is a blessing and you start to see Benjamin Sesko creep into Manchester United's side a little bit more and we find out what he really is like. When he hits the ground and he starts scoring goals, he could take off. I know he might not take off, but I think he's the type of player that does believe in his ability, like the experience that he's got, the goals that this man scores. When he gets off the mark, I think he's going to be one to watch for Manchester United. But the situation that's going on with Bryan Mbeumo right now and the form that he's in, I think he's definitely taking the pressure off for Manchester United's other forwards. And to have him and then Bruno when he finds his strap and Ahmad finally gets back to scoring ways again. Cunha coming back in, like we said, with the injury updates earlier on. And Sesko finding his feet. Bang, there you go. And on top of that, like we said before, our best player this season, Mason Mount, he does start chipping in with a few goals. The Manchester United are really going to be motoring. I think we just need to get into a rhythm. I'm just gutted, and that's the reason why I said with not having midweek games that we can't build up that rhythm and get something going. That's the annoying thing for me anyway. I did update you all on the Mason Mount injury earlier on. Again, it is precautionary. He has got a chance of playing against Manchester City. He was playing with something for 30 minutes, so they just took him off. There's been no word from United of any concern at all for Mason Mount. So anyone asking, there is good news on Mason Mount also. And that is that he is in contention anyway for Manchester United and the games coming up. So yeah, Mason Mount looking good. Cunha looking good as well. Leacher, update on Lisandro Martinez. Some actually saying that Leacher might be available and back in first team training after the international break. Now, he isn't obviously away with Argentina. He's back at Carrington, so still working. He is now on grass, as we know. Integration next into the first team training. What an option that is to have for Ruben Amorim right now. Leacher back in action. Cunha not far away. Mount not that serious. Fully fit squad. I cannot believe I am going to say this, but there is a chance this month, touch wood again, everything I possibly can, by the end of September, Manchester United could have every single player available. That is ridiculous. That's almost as crazy as them stats that I've just pulled up that Manchester United have sat at number 1 so far this Premier League season in. That is crazy. To have that would be the first time I can ever remember Manchester United having a full squad to pick from. Just think, the centre-half situation on its own. You've got Mazraoui, you've got Leacher, you've got Luke Shaw, you've got Aiden Heaven, Maguire, De Ligt, Lenny Yoro. I mean, that's 7 centre-backs to choose from. Your full-back areas, you've got Leon, you've got Dorgu, you've got Dalot, you've got Ahmad. Crazy. Your forward line, let's not even go there, shall we? With the 10s, you know how many 10s we've got. And obviously, the strikers, we could do with a bit more. The good old midfield. The midfield, that's where it really counts for Manchester United right now. And the one area where we are really short. There was a point here where Sekou Kode, who unfortunately, I think, broke his eye socket in that incident at Altrincham that had the game cancelled the other week. He is Man United's 5th choice centre midfielder right now. That's crazy again, isn't it? 5th choice. Shows you how sparse we are in midfield. Obviously, we don't have a lot of games, and this situation, we're not having a lot of games, will help the midfield. But Fabrizio Romano last night actually came out and confirmed that Manchester United did indeed go for Conor Gallagher and could go back in again for Conor Gallagher in January. I can't see this happening, but Manchester United are looking at all midfield options again in January. We touched on this last night briefly, but just to completely update you on everything, United are active and are recruiting for January if the right deal comes up and the right player comes up. Again, we've spoken about Carlos Baleba, we've spoken about Adam Wharton. Manchester United's valuations of them 2 players, from what's been said from The Athletic, I feel are a million miles away from where they need to be. Adam Wharton and Carlos Baleba, 50, 60 million pound. Chelsea and Manchester United apparently battling it out for Adam Wharton. In a million years, and never see it happen. Like Crystal Palace have just turned down 35 million for Matt Gay with 6 months, with 12 months left on his contract. They're not going to accept 50 million for Adam Wharton. Whoever thinks that is going to happen are off the rocker. They really are, because United are going to have to fork out 70 million plus for Wharton and a minimum, I would say, 90 million plus for Carlos Baleba, unless he completely falls off and United get a cut price deal from Brighton in January. I just don't think that that's in the offing either. I really don't. So I think it's going to be a loan deal. I think Manchester United are actively looking for loanee players in January. Why loan in January? Because in January, you find out after the first 4 months of the season, players who are featuring, players who are not featuring, which is why obviously we've been talking about the goalkeeping situation and the window still being open in Turkey and Saudi. If United don't pick ONANA, then obviously you start to get the idea, right, I'm not number 1. This could happen in other areas of the pitch, and Manchester United made the decision, according to reports, not to go in for a player that they are not going to see as long-term or isn't as good as what they've got in the current squad. Has to be better than what they've got, otherwise they're not going to buy him, which is why they went for the loan of Gallagher. I actually think Gallagher's better than Manuel Ugarte and Casemiro in that position for what Man United need. Probably at the moment better than Kobbie Mainoo in that position. That's going to surprise a few people, me saying that, but I think Kobbie needs time to work that position into what he's good at. In Ruben Amorim's system, that is as well. And so, yeah, not saying Kobbie's a worse player than Gallagher. I think in this system right now, Gallagher would suit more than Kobbie Mainoo would. Personally, just my opinion on that. I don't think he's a better player. No, I think the ceiling for Kobbie Mainoo is miles higher. But I think this is why United knew getting someone like Gallagher in, it would fit right into what Ruben wants right now. And it's not a commitment because they do want to still go back in for Carlos Baleba. They're fully convinced on Baleba, by the way. That talk keeps on doing the rounds and will continue to do the rounds around all of the transfer windows when they open, and it will ramp up again when the January transfer window opens. Don't be surprised to see more and more and more talk about Carlos Baleba as soon as December 31st hits, everybody. So this, I feel, right now is what's happening with the midfielder. If they can get Carlos Baleba, they will. If they can't, they're going to go for a loan. It's as simple as that. That's where United are at, and I think Manchester United have a plan looking ahead in the loan market to bring in players. I mean, it's similar to like a Sabitzer situation. Remember in January when we brought him in? I think that type of player only for Manchester United, but we don't have many games. And this is why now, as well, I feel like we can properly judge Ruben Amorim as a coach. Are any of our players going to get better and understand the system more? Well, Ruben's got more time in between games to work with these players. Look, everyone's up to full fitness right now. No excuse there for underperformances and not being fit. We're ready to go 4 games into the season. And I think Ruben is going to fizzle out his squad. But United will obviously be looking at other clubs with players that aren't getting much game time and also looking at the potential loan market. So, yeah, in terms of transfers coming in, Manchester United are looking for a loanee midfielder still, unless the perfect player comes along at a cheaper price for them. They cannot afford Baleba. They cannot afford Adam Wharton. They're a million miles away from the prices that Crystal Palace and Brighton respectively want for them players. And only the perfect opportunity coming around would we get that player in January. It may change completely next summer transfer window. But as it is at the moment, Manchester United, loanees only for the January transfer market. Because I just don't see them really forking out for Baleba or Adam Wharton. That's just where we're at with it. Right, let's get some comments in on everything as well. I'd buy Gallagher at the right price and one other, maybe Wharton, depends if you are Baleba as a new Pogba. Rob says Gallagher is more of a fighter, possibly higher work rate than Mount. Box to box, know how to break opposition play. He is that type of player. That's why Simeone brought him in and why he plays for Simeone every single week, which is why I don't think United will be able to get him. The fact that Romano said they wanted a loan and was told it's 45 million for Conor Gallagher. I actually feel like Conor Gallagher at 45 million is a decent price. I think that's fair market value. So yeah, that's what I think. But I just don't think Manchester United want to spend any money unless it's Carlos Baleba. That keeps on coming up. Hopefully all the troublemakers out of the club now. Just get rid of Coco and we can concentrate on playing again. It would be big getting rid of ONANA. It really would be, with everyone else that's gone. Tyrell Malacia, everybody, by the way, still at the moment, he is looking like he is being reintegrated back into the squad because nobody wants him. Still not taking away the chance that he might be loaned out to a Saudi or a Turkish team or bought for cheap by one of them leagues either. Keep an eye on that one. I'll keep you updated on Malacia. But at the moment, he's been reintegrated back in, as reports are saying right now. Quickly, everybody, Match Bingo in full action again this week. Like I said yesterday, we have loads of offers on international duty this week. Don't forget as well, with OK Jerseys, our replica kit supplier as well, like this one here, the training kit for Manchester United. We've got a giveaway after hitting 99,000 subscribers. Please hit the subscribe button, everybody, as well. If we get to 100, we're going to do more. But we are doing a giveaway on OK Jerseys. So this weekend, first of all, Match Bingo has got mega offers. 200% bonus on everything going on Match Bingo. Now, when we look at this game, use the QR code on the screen or click on the link in the live chat right now. Download the app, dead simple, free, easy, take you 10 seconds to open an account. Deposit as little as £5, that's all they're asking for. They will double that as a new customer to £10 straight away. It's only £2 a card. And if you put in promo code FUTV in all caps in the promo code section, you will be boosted by 200% this week for all international games. So on Saturday, on Football Talks, we're doing a watch-along for England versus Wales after the FUTV show. I'll take you from here into that game and that watch-along on Football Talks. That's our channel, by the way. If you haven't subscribed, link in the description. Go subscribe. We're doing a lot more watch-alongs on the side as well this season. But in that watch-along, giveaway with replica shirts for people watching in that watch-along. And also the Match Bingo special, 200% bonus. And it's £2 a card. You could win up to 250 quid, nearly £300 this weekend for as little as £2 spend. Get on that, everybody. Now, that link in the live chat, if you are catching up later, all links in the description as well under OK Jerseys and Match Bingo. There will be a post on the YouTube community tab later this week, around about Friday, on how to enter the shirt giveaway. Any shirt of your choice from across all the leagues around the world. That is up to you completely. Let's just get through some other news while we're at it, just to see what's floating around. We always like to have a little bit of a look. Manuel Ugarte, we haven't started the season very well. My level hasn't been at the best either, so we have to be realistic and honest, but I'm very confident. I have a very good relationship with the coach. I'm working well. I'm very excited and eager to earn a starting spot. Well, he's just in line with everybody else, then, isn't he? Well said, Manuel Ugarte. I don't think you've been well either. I don't think you've been playing well either. I don't think any Manchester United fan has been impressed with Manuel Ugarte. Anthony, by the way, turned down Bayern Munich for a move to Real Betis. He said he was approached by Bayern Munich, but he'd give his commitment to Real Betis. I'll never understand that. I'll never understand that. But hey, look, it's not for us to worry about anymore. He's gone. And I'm not going to have a go at Anthony for choosing Betis. Look, he's out of the way. His wages are off the books for Manchester United. With a miles more comfortable position around, like what Barbara says there in the live chats, the bomb squad all going. If we could potentially move on Andre Onana now, then we're right up there, aren't we? We're moving in the right direction, everybody. And hopefully the good news will continue. I'll be ready for it, as always. I'm just going to double check that we haven't got any more, because there's been loads of super chats this morning as well. Thank you, everybody, again. Robbie with a super chat says, let me just bring it up now. There's quite a few of them that have popped up that I've missed. An absolute melon ain't fit for the megastore. That's on Andre Onana from Ant. Thanks for that, Ant. Robbie with a super chat says, we bugged up with Ten Hag letting De Gea go. 100% agree on that. Robbie also says, with you 100 on Onana, Adam. Is everyone? I think everyone is. No one wants to see him play again, do they? I'm pretty certain of that. Andreas with a super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, other 5 leagues spent 2.9 billion. Spending in the Premier League, 3.1 billion. Interesting article this morning from The Guardian talking about net spend. Manchester United third. Funnily enough, they didn't bring in the extra 21 million plus that Manchester United made on sell-ons for younger players like Oyedele, like Alvaro Fernandez Carreras, like Anthony Elanga, like the Sancho penalty from Chelsea. Didn't bring that into the factor. They just went with Garnacho and Antony as Man United's outgoings. Again, agenda-driven narrative of negativity around Manchester United by the media. Yet again, let's just ignore 21 million that we actually did bring in for transfers and just go with the 2 players that left. Go figure. But yeah, Manchester United brought in 90 million quid this summer in transfer fees and players leaving on sell-ons and so on and penalties. So yes, the 90 million we brought in. So yeah, United's net spend, by the way, should be around about 138-40 million-ish, around that mark. It's time for Mainu to shine, says Robert. He also comes back in. Time for the transfer window. What's that? Time the transfer window here was scrapped. Should we have a transfer window? It adds excitement, but I do remember going back to the days when there was no transfer window, crazily enough. Anyway, that is everything. The poll right now that was run throughout. Who starts in the Manchester derby? You've got Bayende, Onana and Lamins. Lamins taking 63% of the vote with over 1,600 votes on that one. I hope so. I hope the audience is right this morning. But that is our show today, everybody. Thank you so much, everyone, for being involved. Thank you for all the comments. Absolutely brilliant, as always. Please give the video a like on the way out. We're over 600 already, which is mega. Please hit that subscribe button, everybody. We are literally round about 657, to be exact, subscribers away from 100k. Good God. It's nearly there. It's edging ever closer. Thank you, everybody. It's been an amazing show this morning. Again, loving all of the community. As always, let's keep that positive vibe going, everyone. We're on a roll. Well, I hope we are. We're 1 win in. Let's see if we can add to that. And I will keep you up to date with all of the news coming out throughout the day. As always, stay tuned, everybody.